Hey guys, before I start this video, I wanted to say thank you for the continued support on the channel. I really appreciate it. Comment below more what if ideas and I will cover them in future videos. Okay, without further ado, let's get into this. So in Revenge of the Sith, we see Anakin cut Count Dooku's head off, killing him, well, instantly. So what if this never happened? When Anakin reluctantly said he shouldn't, Palpatine commanded he do it. But he didn't listen. It wasn't the Jedi way. To act out of revenge and hate, that was the way of the Sith. He cuffs Dooku's handless wrists and they go to the bridge of the ship, where they barely survive a crash landing on Coruscant. Chancellor Palpatine was saved, but more interestingly, they finally arrested the once Jedi Knight, Count Dooku. He was brought before the Jedi Council, where they discussed what to do next. So at this point, Dooku would have lost all faith for Palpatine. The guy just sentenced him to death, and if it wasn't for Anakin choosing the light, he would be dead like we see in Revenge of the Sith. In the council chambers, Mace Windu would begin the meeting. Count Dooku, you once sat here on this council, and now you'll be placed on trials for crimes against the Republic. How do you plead? Count Dooku looked at the Jedi Masters circling him, like a tribe of lions trapping their prey. I was only the apprentice in the war. My master Darth Sidious is the true enemy, and he has been under your noses this entire time, just as I told Obi-Wan all those years ago. And as Obi-Wan did, Mace denied those accusations. But as he did this, Dooku simply showed them proof of his claim, and it became known that he was right. Their Chancellor was a Sith Lord they had been looking for. Upon learning this information from Dooku, he would still be arrested, however his sentence would not be nearly as long as it would have been otherwise. Mace Windu, Yoda, Obi-Wan, Anakin, and many other Jedi Masters would approach Palpatine's office. This was probably the largest mission or thing the Jedi would ever do, so they did not need to be scarce on the resources. They can bring 10 Masters, 20 even, as long as it gets the job done. The door to the Chancellor's office swipes open as they enter. Marching towards the revealed Sith Lord, he turns his chair to appear at the Jedi Masters. For the first time in his life, Palpatine is shocked and stunned. He doesn't know what to do. He had considered that his own apprentice could betray him. Palpatine knew for certain that he could never kill all of these Jedi by himself. He was trapped. He couldn't do anything. If he was attacked, they would kill him. But if he simply accepted his imprisonment, well, maybe then he would survive and then recalculate his options later. Besides, he still had Anakin. His grip on the boy would still be tight, and he could use the Force to continue to disrupt his belief in the Jedi Order even whilst being in confinement. After being found guilty and sentenced to life in prison, Padme gave birth to twins and lived. For now, Anakin thought that everything was back to normal. That was until one night, in his dreams, he heard a scream. It was a kid. 2 kids. They were crying. He turned to see that it was his children, Luke and Leia. This dream felt real. Anakin was standing right there. He wasn't just present, he couldn't be heard. Screaming for his kids, but his words turned into distant echoes. Anakin reached out with his voice, but was suddenly jolted backwards, falling to his knees. He stared to his left, where he saw Padme. Tears flooded her face as she called for Anakin, but to no avail. The background shifted to Tatooine, where he saw his mother crying out for Anakin before being beaten by Tuskens. His mother's words rebounded in his head back and forth. Where were you when I needed you? Suddenly, he was back on Coruscant, where he saw Luke and Leia. Fear framed their faces as they peered at the figure standing in front of them. Anakin turned to see Padme, with her head down, reassuring the kids that everything will be okay. The figure ignited a lightsaber that shone blue, illuminating his face and revealing his identity. The figure commanded his lightsaber through Padme, killing her in one swift motion before storming to the children. And as they began crawling away, too terrified to rise to their feet, the lightsabers cut through the abdomen and they were dead. Anakin began screaming with rage and anger as he awoke from his dream with tears all over his face. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave part 1. I would love to hear your opinions and thoughts on where you would like the story to continue in part 2. Perhaps I will use some of your endings to the story in part 2 to create the best possible storyline. Thanks for watching, I really hope you enjoyed it. And as always, have a good day everyone.